The Apostle Paul wrote, "I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. The life I now live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me." That's from Galatians 2:20. That's just one of the many Bible verses that tells me that being a follower of Jesus Christ is a radical thing. Paul said, "I'm dead. Christ lives in me. Christ must live through me." And he deserves that kind of allegiance and control because of his extraordinary love and sacrifice on my behalf. So I've placed my faith in Jesus Christ, and that should change everything. I remember a group of precocious preteens asking me about how we could know that what the Bible said about Jesus was trustworthy. I didn't want to give them pat answers or dumb down to these kids, so I went in at almost a seminary level. I spoke at length about the vast number of manuscripts we possess, showing the accuracy with which the text of the Bible has been handed down to us. I pointed out that there's more historical attestation for Jesus Christ than any of antiquity's most famous people, like Caesar. I shared some of the more interesting discoveries of archaeology that have shown the historical reliability of both the Old and the New Testament texts. And finally, I delved into some of the internal evidence for the believability of the Christ narrative, the story of Jesus. Most of the group seemed genuinely encouraged and satisfied by my answers. One young lady, however, just grew sullen and quiet. And as I moved on to talk about how this should impact our faith, I could see a look of stubborn antagonism growing in her eyes. So finally, I stopped and I just asked her what she was thinking. "What do you think about the evidence?" And I'll never forget her reply. She said, "What difference does it make if Julius Caesar ever lived, or whether the Gallic Wars were actually took place? If I believe the Bible is true and Jesus is who he claimed to be, then I would have to change my life." Her reasoning was spot on. It was flawless. If you accept the Bible's testimony about Jesus, that should change everything. Well, I watched that young lady grow, and I watched her unwillingness to surrender her life to Christ. That refusal to change was the one objection that outweighed all the evidence in Christ's favor. Now, I wouldn't want to discount the questions of anyone who genuinely struggles with the claims of the Bible. I only want to point out that while some objections to Christ originate in the intellect, more often than not, they come from the heart. Do you know Jesus? And if so, is it changing your life? I pray so. God bless you.